Okay, Brett, thank you again for being here.
Yeah,
I'm
my
super
pleasure.
excited to get your feedback. So I'm just asking everybody two questions. I'll ask the first, let you answer it, and then I'll ask the second. So the first question is, what was it about my art that compelled you to have commission me to actually do your signature frequency portal?
Yeah, that's a very good question because this is this different iteration of your art. So, um, where you were coming from. So, I knew you as an artist. I knew you as a practitioner of other areas of body and mind and soul. But what I had gone to or it was that big weekend where it was like all the different art, and I had friends in town, and I never usually go to those things. Uh, just because I go to things all the time. And it was just kind of, but my friend said, "Oh, let's do this." So, as funny as it would turn out, we went to multiple other art galleries and shows and artists and all kinds of stuff that were really captivating and intriguing in Palm Springs and Cathedral City and Palm Desert and throughout. And it wasn't until, I mean, your gallery was literally the end of our day, and we had been going for 3.5 hours, and a little tired, and we're like, oh, let's have lunch, but oh, let's stop in here. Yes, and I know, Mark, let's stop in here. And then I saw your artwork, and I saw previous things that you were creating, and then I saw the art, which this is the next depiction of what you've been doing with frequency kind of work. And I had never seen that before. And I hadn't seen your artwork until I stepped into your gallery, and you had some of those, and I liked the colors and I liked the idea, but I didn't know what it represented. And then you were kind enough to walk me through your process and how those other ones had come to be. And it really kind of piqued two questions for me. It piqued the initial question, which was, oh, I totally kind of get where you're going. That's totally what I've been looking for in a sense of just art in general or something for a new home that I just purchased, and to have a first signature piece that kind of crafts my feeling, my belief when I walk in the room. Um, and I had thoughts in mind and what I wanted. And when I saw your artwork, it completely changed my thoughts in my mind about what I wanted in the space. And then really what took it to the next level is when we started talking, and you said, well, hey, I'm working on new expanded kind of feeling frequency kind of work separate from what you're seeing here. These are, and it's kind of funny. You said these are on sale and whatever. And if they speak to you, great. But you know, and that's when we talked about the commission piece, and I was very intrigued. And then you said, well, here's how and I wanted to find out how the process worked. It wasn't about the sale. It wasn't about the discount. It was really about, well, where are you taking this in the future? What is this looking like? How does the process work? And so flash forward, we had an email exchange, then we had a phone exchange, and then we had in person. You were able to come to my home and see uh, how I was eclectically designing many of the things in my space that capture my energy, my frequency, the things I love, whether it be dogs, other artwork, family, history, future, and um, and we talked about colors and we talked about different stuff, and then it was kind of came from that. And so that was the inroad, the process, kind of how we got there. And I knew, and you were so sweet because you were saying, well, if you don't like it, don't worry. You can always redo it. We could do something else. And I'm like, well, I don't think that's going to be the case. I think, we had a nice connection and you understood. And as an artist, I had saw your work. And so I was like, I'm sure he'll probably nail this pretty clearly. And categorically, right behind me, this is exactly all the things that I, was hoping to kind of look at. And I find new pieces. I find new, not pieces, I find new viewpoints to this constantly that I haven't seen before. Long-winded answer.
That's a perfect segue for the second question. And I love hearing all of that. Thank you again.
Yeah.
So now that you've had the piece of art, your signature frequency in your space, in your possession, I'm just asking everyone, what are you noticing your experience with the art in your space has been in the time that you've had it, if anything?
Yeah. Well, no, there's been different, and you knew when we traditionally put it on the wall and dropped it off. I was, immediately leaving for 3 weeks to go to Europe and that first trip and different things, which was mind-boggling. Covered in galleries and art and history and all kinds of cons of things that I had not been exposed to in person. And so then I didn't have a chance to really take in your art until I got home, and then restful nights and quiet time, and adjusting the light appropriately, not appropriately, morning light versus evening light versus ambient versus just my own quiet time, putting the right music track behind it, different things. It consistently changes. Unbeknownst to me, I'm not looking. I don't always feel I'm looking to explore it. It just kind of comes to you. And it just happened again last night because we were talking about this and I was taking a photo of it. So I was for the backdrop, but then I turned the lights all the way on. So it was very illuminating and you see things in a different perspective. And then this morning when, I had the windows open and things because it was a little bit cooler, briefly, I, had a little bit of different ambient light and didn't have the lights on at all. And you capture, the brighter, vibrant ones kind of come out a little more. It strikes a different chord. The yellows and gold kind of speak to me in a different way depending on my day. Last night I was exceedingly tired, so I saw it totally different. And this morning a little more rested and a little more active. And it was like, oh, this has a lot more meaning. Not that the hall's meaning, but it's just a different way of looking at it. It consistently shifts. Um, and like right now, I'm looking at the backdrop, and I'm focused on literally, so the other side, literally this area here, which I know I've always seen, but today that is just kind of like this big bright spot that I hadn't been really thinking about until I knew. So it changes. And this is not even the piece, and I mean, this is the piece, but it's not, I'm not in my room. I feel like I am.
I feel like I am too.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's ever changing. And I think the big part of it is understanding. I would love to, I think as a part and parcel of this whole process is to really look at a video and understand how you create some of this. I know we have the conversation, we have the dialogue, we have the connection, we have mind, body, spirit, and a piece, but I'm also tactile. So I would love to kind of like watch your hands creating the next generation of something, and even for 5 minutes, just feel, oh, that's how some of this came to be. Because I honestly don't know. I truly have not seen you do it, so I don't know how that process works.
At the moment, I only have one process video. I'll share it with you after
Yeah.
this call. And it was one that you saw, and this piece is not going to be on the video, so I'll say it to you, but it's the piece that I created that was my signature frequency after I got the portals. So I'll share that with you. And going forward, my commitment to myself this summer is to train myself with the technology to capture the process of every piece that I do going forward, particularly the signature frequencies.
Yeah.
I barely got that one out.
Yeah, no, it takes a lot. It's a whole that's a whole different artistic
Yeah, and you
thing.
have to be mindful. I knocked it over a couple of times, and so you're in the creative process, and now you're
Uh-huh.
worried about a camera, right?
Yeah.
But I am going to commit to that so I can
Yeah.
incorporate that into the process.
Yeah, because I think that, from a commission piece, and I've commissioned photography. Uh, that's a personalized thing in a different way, but not art. I never kind of thought I look at stuff and it's like, oh, I look and find things that strike me and I maybe purchase, or I look and say, no, it's 70% there, and I'll put up with the other,
Right.
or it's
Right.
whatever. And that was kind of that day. And when I saw your stuff, I'm like, oh, this could be 100% like
I
mine.
love that. I
Yeah.
love that.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for being a part of my early process. I'm just
Yeah.
asking one final question. Is there anything else that you want to say about the piece or that you feel like would be helpful?
I just think it's fabulous. I've loved the process, and I just love watching your transformation of some of these different things and some of the other ones that I've seen. People have been posting online a little bit with a few of theirs, and I like the fact that it's taking off. And you know, I think the only thing I want to have is a sticker of it. And I know those are very individualized, but I even thought about taking your art and just doing one of those ones online because I think it's kind of there's a transformative piece that I would give something, I could give to family members and say, oh, because it's my frequency. It's my
Nice.
art, but it's your art, but it
Me.
has to, but it's you. Yeah, but it's me. And it's kind of like, oh, this is kind of fun. And, that's the new gig right now is putting it on bottles and things and backpacks. And it just kind of reminds you 24/7 where you're at.
Well, on my website, I have merch, but a sticker's
Oh,
not
yeah.
one of them. I'm going to research that.
Yeah. Yeah. They're really inexpensive and just finding decent quality that, and then have some type of saying or make sure they understand who it is or, something that's, your signature. So that way
Right, right.
they'd be able to think, yeah, I just think that'd be fun. I know I'd put it on. I already
Thank
have your sticker on the one, as you well know.
you. Excellent. Well, thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. My pleasure.
Well, you enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you again for taking
Yeah.
the time. And I am headed to LA for the weekend, but I will see you at the gym next week and maybe we can grab coffee or something again.
Yeah, that would be fantastic. Yeah. Starting next week, it frees up a whole lot more. As I said, our little bit of a summer slowdown, I stop all, predominantly all lectures, all things. We do health fairs and a few things that still need to be done, but those are for the most part in business, because now businesses and cities and the tribes and everybody are finally focusing on their employees during the summer months because the population shifts, and so
Right.
that's how we shift ours, so we don't do as much community, which should be fun.
That makes sense.
Yeah, well, yeah, let's definitely get together when you return. I'd love that.
All right. Thank you, my
So
friend.
have fun in LA. It'll be hopefully cooler. Better
Yeah,
be.
a little bit anyway.
Yeah, right.
Be
All
well,
right,
my
Mark.
friend.
Be
Bye-bye.
well. Thank you.
Thank you.